Hey everyone, how's it going? We got Dean from Dean's Fishroom down here. We're going to do something different. You've seen me walk around and feed fish and talk about feeding fish, but today Dean is going to feed the fish tanks down here in the fish room. So I'll go ahead and get behind the camera and we'll walk around and feed some fish.
And Zenzo's going to be answering
I'll answer some questions, yeah.
Okay, so let's start with the Oscars because you know, they were so pleasant during the live stream that we just did. If you haven't seen the live stream, you got to go back and catch that, right?
Yep, the live stream's on the channel, so you can go back and watch it as a playback.
So, just so you guys all know, and many of you already do, that I came down before the pandemic with Corey, and we completely kind of revamped. We didn't redo the fish room.
We remodeled it.
We remodeled it. We put the sound walls in, central air, made him clean up that corner. And, you know, we didn't really move a lot of the fish tanks around, a few of them, but not very many. And then since then, you've done the things like covering the ends of the brick. I don't think we had all of the lights when we were down, so we've redone all of those. Rugs, chairs, all that. That was done at the very last minute. So the Oscar tank has been remodeled. It's very cool. These are your pets, right?
These are my wet pets, yeah.
Yeah. And you just throw food in these?
Yep, just throw it in. You want a little spoon?
No, I'll use my fingers. I might taste some of it if I'm hungry. Let's go over here. Come on, guys. Right here. Very cool fish. How old are these?
I don't know. The larger one, he's a few years old.
This guy?
Yeah. The white, the albino, they're probably 2.5 years old, maybe.
And one thing that a lot of people don't see in this tank are these guys over here. Can you get a shot of these guys?
Yeah, the Chindongo.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do a lot of hiding. Fish. All right, what's next with that food?
What's next?
The peacocks will eat that.
These guys here, yeah. This I remember. You're lifting this whole tank, and I don't even think it was almost half full of water, I think.
No, it was probably.
And we were like, is that going to go? Is that going to work? Because we had to tuck the blanket in behind, right? If I remember right. And there's a canister filter behind here. Yeah, this was kind of cool. And some of these are from the tank upstairs now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They're all down here now.
Okay, guys. Wow, that's cool. I haven't fed fish in like 3 days now. So the what do we call this? The hump.
The nuchal hump. Yep.
Those were not apparent last time I was here.
Right.
So that means these fish were probably more like this size.
Could have been, yeah.
You know, so it's got to have something to do with this food.
It is good food.
Big fellas. These guys take these too.
They'll eat that too, yeah.
So are you actively looking at spawning any of these right now?
No, not.
Is this just to have for right now?
Yeah, just to have. The only ones I'm kind of actively trying to spawn, I like to get the 5-star generals to spawn, and then some other fish. Yeah, they'll eat these pellets too.
Yeah. These pellets, by the way, smell really good.
They do. That lid's a little wonky. There you go.
I see that. I'll make sure to get back in there. So, just in case, these are really a very cool looking fish. And maybe you'll get some B-roll later when we're not actually out here just being right in front. But a lot of people look at these as a convict cichlid. But this is not actually it's in the same family, but it's...
Yeah, they're both cichlids, but these are from Africa, where the
Right.
convicts are from
Right.
South America.
And look at the color. The color is amazing.
Or
You got
Central America, maybe.
Blue, red, gold, black.
Yep.
Stunning. You like that food? I found one of these the other day.
What's that?
Corey was over. There's,
Uh-huh.
I don't have one of these in my fish room.
Really? I've got a few.
I found it, or actually Corey found it in my kitchen drawer. So it works. So African mudskippers.
Yep.
Now there are some new guys. The smaller ones are new. I've seen this guy before.
Yep.
We're going to give them some krill flake. And if I do this right, I'm not going to get eaten or anything. I'm going to go right up on this rock here. There we go. Okay, guys, go eat. Sometimes it takes them a few minutes, right?
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
Isn't it so cool how they, like right there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. There we go. First guy up there. So they bring it back into the water, it seems, to eat it, correct?
Yeah, I think they do that just to maybe
Moisture?
a little moisture.
Moisture,
Yeah.
I would bet. Do you find that there's a pecking order with these?
Yes, very much so, and it's mostly about size.
Okay. So if big guy here, which is, if he wanted to go up there, or she,
Yeah.
he would have the rule of the roost.
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah? And I know Zenzo's talked about this a lot before, but these are actually fish.
They are fish.
They are fish. They're not something that lives out of the water. They have to have the water, but they do jump out of the water to eat, obviously as a mudskipper. So what exactly are these all the same breed?
Those are all the same. Yeah. The females are yellow and the males are blue. They're Saulosi. So some people call them Pseudotropheus saulosi. More recently known as Chindongo Saulosi.
And again, they just take this krill flake like crazy?
They'll eat anything like crazy.
Anything.
In fact, if I have hair algae in another tank, I put it in here and they eat that like crazy.
What about my fingers?
They could nibble on that too.
These guys are awesome. And I noticed that way back in here, I saw some little maybe half-inch ones.
Yep, tinies.
3/4 inch ones right here in the middle, 1-inch ones. So this is several different spawns, right?
Yes. So I started off, I think, with like 6 or 8 of these.
And this is what you've got. How many years?
Mm,
Couple?
No.
2, 3?
No, year and a half maybe?
Year and a half.
Yeah.
Do you have any fry predation, or is it just
Yeah, there's some.
a little bit?
Because I don't try to rescue them or anything.
Okay. So all of these fry have basically fended on their own. So they all must start out yellow.
They all start out yellow.
And
yes.
then they turn...
And then they turn blue as they mature for the males.
Cool. Now I already know what's down here because these are really cool. And this is only going to be B-roll content.
Yeah, because we won't see these.
We won't see them. But just so you guys know, there's 3 or 4
Yeah.
very large male Congo Tetras. I'm going to feed them back here. And they're gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous. There's 4 of them, right?
Yeah, there's 4 down there.
These
and,
guys,
and one bristle nose.
Yeah. These guys are a few years old, I bet.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So 100 years ago, I actually bred these by accident. I didn't know. I wasn't trying to. I didn't know they were breeding. But all of a sudden, I realized that there's eggs everywhere. Grabbed some out, raised some up. It was a pretty cool experience. Basically, you know, soft acid water and well fed. They did it all. They did the rest themselves. I often tell people we don't breed fish. Fish breed by themselves. We don't get in the tank and do it with them, right?
That would be odd.
You know, so you know, all we do is set up the conditions for these to breed. So these guys got to take some nano pellets, I think.
Yeah, they'll eat anything. They'll eat what you have in your hand or the nano, anything.
You know, I'm a big fan of nano pellets, and I'm a big fan of these fish, all because of coming to your place. You actually use the scoop?
Yeah.
I do too sometimes.
My hands don't fit in there so
I know.
well. So.
How many's in?
14.
Yeah.
A little quarter of a spoon or
14.
something.
Oh, look at those. Yeah, I might have to get some of these. What do you think?
Anytime.
Let's have a vote in the chat. Would these look really cool in one of Corey's new 40-gallon tanks at the fish farm, the indoor fish farm? I think they would. I might have to breed them and take them there. Okay, so next is the Brichardi tank. Another cool tank. Well scaped, and they're gonna eat right now. Maybe. These guys might be a little bit shy.
They're on the shy side for sure.
Yeah, but they see the food in there. Look at that. Oh man, you got a big male back there.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. I never kept them to that size. I always sold them before.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they get big.
Yeah. Mine were all about the size of these medium ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would, obviously I would sell them, you know, so. So when I first looked in there, I'm thinking there's only 3 or 4 in there. And now all of a sudden we've got a whole tank full of
It's
them.
like 20 or something.
They're coming out of the woodwork. That's kind of cool. What type?
That is freeze-dried shrimp.
Freeze-dried shrimp, and we're feeding.
Green spotted puffer.
And so he's going to come up and take it right out of my hand, in the water or out of the water?
In the water, maybe.
Yep, he is. Circling. Oh. I didn't want to get that beak.
Yeah, you want to watch your fingers, it could pinch.
Whoa. That was... I bet he could take another one.
Yeah. You can hear the crunching.
I know, I did. I'm thinking, man, that could have been my finger. I don't think he'd take my finger. I mean, I don't think his mouth could get...
No.
Although they can get your skin pretty good.
Yeah.
Come on, buddy.
Might be one and done.
He might be. Huffers do tend to eat a lot,
They do.
but we'll just give that one
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah, he doesn't want my hand in it. So I remember in this tank the whole series when you were making this
Yep.
guy. And now we've got plants, and now we notice these ones are doing really well, and these 2 small ones aren't so well. But I was wondering, have you ever tried orchids on a background like this?
I have not.
Do you think it would work? Maybe, maybe not.
I don't know. I don't know if they had enough light, maybe.
I find that orchids don't really need super bright light, but more of the misting. Like you just did mist this a little bit, because most of them are growing on trees in a shaded jungle.
Right.
So I think I would try it. I just like we'll just pull those 2 out and put an orchid in there. And do miniature, you know, the little miniature ones.
Yep.
I used to have a whole orchid growing operation. Kind of by accident, I got into it, and then I had too many. So.
I give mine fish water, and they blossom upstairs.
Yeah. What made you pick these, Zenzo?
Just wanted a nice brackish fish. I like live bearers because they reproduce easily, and just thought it would be kind of a nice dynamic in this tank to have a bunch of fish down below and the crabs above.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So the crabs are up here.
Mm-hmm.
There's one posing with his little pincher out there.
Yep.
How many crabs are in here?
I don't know. I throw a bunch in and they kind of do their thing.
So I have not done swordtails for a number of years, but I still miss the great big the great big long swords.
Yeah.
You know. And
try the other side. 'Cause
I'm going to yell at you for not having knobs on the top.
I know. I know. I was actually thinking about that the other day. I'm like, Dean's gonna hate my lids.
No, the lids are okay. But I actually use, and everybody kind of knows probably by now, I use wood cabinet knobs.
Right. Super glue it?
They're not super glued. They're held on with double stick tape.
Mm.
But it's an industrial strength double stick tape. And the reason I do that is when you come up and there's when there's a pull, like where did I see a pull? Oh, on the Oscar tank.
Mm-hmm.
You can only grab it one way.
Right.
With a lid, you can put your little finger under, you can grab it with your hand, you can do the back, the front.
Right.
Anyway, with the pull. So that's why I use them. So I'll have to hook you up because there's a guy on eBay that sells them pre-finished.
Uh-huh.
And you just buy the tape at the depot. By the way, you guys, this is the little secret corner. Now, my very first time over here, it was before Corey came down. The room ended here.
Yep.
And I remember there was some sort of curtain
There's
here,
like a
right?
curtain there and a bunch of storage junk.
Yeah. And I said, "Zinzo, what's behind there?" He said, "Oh, it's just junk." And I look in there, I said, "That's going to be part of your fish room." And then I didn't know at that time that I was going to come back down with Corey and that we were going to do all this. So when we got back down here, we like, how can we make this work? So you guys can hear a little bit of it now because there's a dehumidifier sitting back behind this area.
Yep.
That basically is also providing heat for the whole room, along with, you know, the lights and everything else. But we've mounted a fan right here that is blowing out that way, and a fan up there that is blowing kind of to the rest of the room that way. And I'm assuming that you're still using the dryer vent thing, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So this has got to be a Zenzo invention right here. So this be the intake, I believe.
That is the exhaust of the dryer vent.
And this is
the heater when the heater kicks on in the house.
When the heater kicks on in the house, right. So this is an exhaust of the dryer vent. So basically he's capturing the heat coming out of the dryer. Now, yes, the lint is in a lint trap. It gets caught first. So, you know, there will be a little bit of lint that comes up here, but it's easy to clean off enough with your fingers and stuff. But again, the very first time I was here, he said, well, let's turn this on. And the room was about 80 degrees. And in less than 5 minutes, it's 82 degrees. So good idea if you have that available to you. But going back here, we're looking at the, obviously the Extreme shelves and the Fritz shelves, both which are your sponsors.
Yep.
So we got the Ziss brine shrimp hatcher. You didn't have that when we first came down.
Nope, that's new.
And I don't think you would have that if we didn't have the sink.
Right.
Do you think? Right.
It makes it so much easier.
Yeah. So we basically took this space that was full of junk and made it usable. And I remember you told me you'll never put a tank here. And then the next video I watch of yours, you're putting a 55-gallon tank there. So anyway, let's go feed some more fish. Let's do these little guppies, a little bit of this stuff. This is Extreme Nano Pellets again. I like guppies too. Now, are you considering these just mutt guppies?
Yeah, they're just kind of whatever.
Just your guppy tank,
yeah.
Right? And you're just keeping, look at the surface boil. Wow. They're ready. So you're keeping them just for why?
Just for enjoyment.
Just for enjoyment.
Yeah.
Purely enjoyment.
I haven't sold any, haven't given them away. I just like them. Yeah.
And it just self-perpetuates.
Yep.
Yep. Next, we're going to go back to the Extreme Flake and feed the Multis.
Those are the Multis, yep.
And the ones I'm taking home.
Gold Ocellatus.
These are really cool. Okay. I did that.
All right.
I'm not used to your lids.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Again, look at them coming out of the woodwork. So if I'm looking at this again, I'm seeing 4 or 5 generations.
Yes.
All the way from the little tiny fry in the very back. Obviously they're holding back because they know they got to keep themselves safe. The bigger fry that can run away quicker. Are we going to see the same thing in this tank?
Not as much, but
because
still.
you just pulled fish out of here. You pulled fry out of here, right? Okay. So as I've been doing this, I noticed every single tank, except for one, I think, has the co-op sponge filter.
I think every single tank, except
for the box filter one.
Yes.
But
yes.
That's more of almost more of a quarantine tank, right?
Yeah, just because
kind of you're holding it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it might be one of those things where the box filter was already running.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well use it. I don't know. These might be my favorite fish in your fish room. Although, these guys are so friendly and cool. You just put some on the rock?
Just put it right on the rock.
Okay.
Just like a little pinch.
Yep. Smaller than the other ones.
Yeah,
right?
a lot smaller.
Okay. Oh, we're going to pick this rock. They are so cool. These, by the way, guys, are the Indian Mudskippers. And if I think my first trip down here was about 2 years ago. You had just got them at that point? Yeah. I really like the
waterfall.
The waterfall, yeah, that's really cool. Are you using like a power head for that, or is it part of the filter system?
It's a canister filter.
So that's the outflow.
That's the outflow, yeah.
And no air in here then, but that's going to aerate the water plenty.
There's a sponge filter behind that.
Oh, there is.
Plant
okay.
there, yeah.
There is. Nice. Very cool. Down here, just so you guys know, are his holding tanks for more Mudskippers. I don't know if I can tell them what it's for, but if you want to tell them the possibility of where they some of them might
down
be
the
going,
road, yeah.
down the road, that might be something coming up. So watch for a future video. The only other ones I want to really look at is these down here. Will they eat anything, or are they more picky?
They'll eat that.
They will.
Yeah, just
So-
tiny amount.
So I remember, were you at the shop when we first saw these at the shop?
Sixth Avenue?
In town?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And none of us bought them.
No, they were like $50 a piece.
Why didn't we buy them? That is a good question.
Right.
Is why we didn't, because none of us had ever seen them.
Yeah, we didn't know enough about them to care for a $50 fish.
Right. So these are a freshwater blenny. And
which are actually supposed to be brackish water.
Which are supposed to be brackish
Yeah.
water, right. I was a bit concerned when you got them. You had them shipped from Washington to here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, man, I hope they make it, because those are a hard... I mean, you might not ever see these again in the hobby.
Right.
For all we know.
Right.
This is the first time... Well, okay, the first time I saw him was in the shop.
Yep.
First time I've seen him in someone's tank. Look at this guy. He is so personable. Have you found other information about these?
Very little. There's very little
there.
information. They like to live in obviously coastal brackish areas,
Okay.
and will nibble on different foods, crustaceans, a lot of algae.
Okay. Have you ever tried baby brine shrimp with them?
Yes.
They go for it?
They'll eat that. They'll eat baby brine shrimp, obviously frozen brine shrimp, algae flakes, spirulina flakes, seaweed. One of their foods that they like is if you scrape the glass of the tank, they eat the
I bet they
algae.
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet they love that. Well, we're going to try a little bit of krill flake, and I'm just going to do a little tiny bit because I don't want to... Oh, he's right there. There's another one back here that you guys can't see that I can kind of see is he's a little more shy. I'm going to just get back here so that maybe we can see him eat. There we go. Super cool fish, guys. These are really cool. What if they spawned in there and you had the first spawn
That
ever?
would be amazing.
Would that be something? You had, first off, you get two. You end up with a pair.
Right.
You got the first spawn ever, and you get to film it.
Yeah.
That would be incredible. Do we have any idea how big they get?
I think that's full grown.
That's full grown.
Yeah.
Wow. So as I'm seeing little bits of food float down, they're getting a little more daring.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. He might be shy, but he's also the boss. Those are really cool fish, guys. Really cool. I've never seen them before. It's amazing.